We are hours away from the big mega final between India and Australia here at the Narendra Modi Stadium. And with me to talk about the final, I have someone who has two identity. One, he stays in Australia, but he is Indian at heart. Bharat, who would you be cheering today and why?
Oh, don't put me on the spot, Mama. Now, look, I'll be cheering for whoever finishes the match early because that's what I've always done. But look, it is India's World Cup to win and India's World Cup to lose. They played better one-day cricket than I've ever seen any Indian one-day cricket team do. And it's there for the taking. I think they already have one hand on the trophy, and Australia will have to play. Australia will have to pull off a miracle to win this final.
Obviously, Bharat says that Australia will have to pull off a miracle, but Bharat, having seen Australian team over the years, do you reckon that this is perhaps the best Australian team when you compare it with the 2015 team? Obviously, losing the two matches initially and then to bounce back, the manner in which they did. What do you say about this Australian team?
Oh no, that's just Australia, right? Like they never stay down, and I was there. I've been following the Australian team. There was a point in that Sri Lanka game, in the third game, where Sri Lanka put on more than 100 for the opening partnership, and you were like, wow, imagine if Australia don't make the semi-final. But that's when Pat Cummins does what he does. He takes 2 wickets. David Warner takes 2 inspirational catches. So I said it'll take a miracle for Australia to win this World Cup, but if there's one team that can pull off that miracle, it's this Australian team. They've shown it throughout this year. They nearly won a test series in India. They won retained the Ashes, won the WTC final again. They've come from nowhere to reach this World Cup final, and that's one thing about Australia, right? Once they get to this point, there's no team more dangerous than them.
How big a boost is Travis Head in that Australian opening order? Obviously, he was injured initially, then David Warner and Travis Head. What do you reckon about the opening pair?
I mean, you just have to look at the last semi-final on a tricky pitch where the ball was turning and doing all sorts. Travis had finished the game off in the 7 overs. Like by the time Maharaj and Shamsi came in, Australia had more or less scored half the runs, and because of Travis Head, which is why Australia were ready to take that gamble of sitting on him and just bringing 14 fit men for this World Cup. And ever since he's come, he made that 100 against New Zealand in a crucial match. Took those 2 wickets against South Africa as well. He just lifts everyone up when he's with the team. And David Warner is batting. Probably it's funny, right? Like this is towards the end of his career, but he's batting as well as he ever has in his career, and that is a very dangerous opening partnership. Like so, if Australia have to go big today and challenge India, those two will have to come off.
Obviously, there's never a dull moment when Virat Kohli faces the Australians. So, what is the mood in the Australian in Down Under? What do people in Australia feel about Virat? The manner in which he has taken over this World Cup, 711 runs, and Rohit Sharma.
Look, Australia loves to hate Virat Kohli, but it's over the years it's become more love than hate. Like it was never hate. They just grudgingly admire Virat Kohli. They think really, really highly of him. He's arguably the most popular non-Australian cricketer in Australia, not just because of the Indian expats. They feel like he plays like an Australian. And you're right, he has that history against them. He would like to win this World Cup against an Australian team. And at the same time, there will be 2 matches going on today from an Australian perspective. There's India versus Australia, but there's also Virat Kohli versus Australia.
Thank you, Bharat, talking to us. That's Bharat Sundaresan, and we will keep you updating all the videos throughout our coverage for the final. That's me, INDvsAUS for Extra Time.
This is Extra Time. Extra Time.